Okay, welcome everyone. This is the commish. I thought I'd make this video for everyone and hopefully make things a little bit easier for everybody to understand. As you see in the process of setting this up, it is a free league as of right now, but we want to upgrade it to a potential premium league with a lot of premium options. So I thought I'd go over some of the options with everyone right now. As you saw, that home page was unbelievably detailed. And now we're going to go over some of the different options that we have. If you look down here, this will be an upgraded version right here. As you see, we'll be able to duplicate the players. This will be an option that we have for max duplicate players. We're going to have a total of 2 of every player in the league, so that'll allow everybody to draft better players, more better players, and have quality games with actual players that are actually in the game and starters and stuff like that. The other one is, as you see, we're going to go to the salaries section, and we're going to use the salaries and we're going to use contracts if that is what everybody would like to do, instead of just using, a salary-less league and just picking players. This allows us different options over here. And this is actually, if you see these little diamonds right here, this is an upgraded version of it. So without the upgraded premium, we would not be able to use salaries. So we have the option to impose a salary cap, impose a salary floor. I mean, there's just unlimited amount of things. The pool of players, show the pool of players. I mean, there's just so many different things that we could do on here. We can generate new players. What I wanted to show you is, let's see, where did it go? The real players. This is salaries based on real. The setting will generate players' salary based on what their real life salaries are. Players who we do not have a salary for will receive the default free agent or waiver wire salary, depending on the current status that you set on the screen. All players do not have a fantasy team will have their salaries regenerated regardless of whether or not you manually inputted them previously. If you check the include players on the team option, their salaries will be regenerated starting from the period you specify. So based on this, they try to match the players' real life salaries as much as possible, it looks like. If you generate player salaries for your league using the generate new salaries button and then change the salary cap, it is recommended that you generate player salaries again, as the salary is generated taking into account the salaries cap entered at that time. So they have a lot of different options over here. I mean, this is like real life stuff. I mean, this is generating salaries. The cap hit. I mean, the settings will generate players will based on whether real life salary. I'm sorry, based on what their real life cap hits are. Players who we do not have a cap hit for will receive the default free agent or waiver wire salary, depending on the current status. So based on the real life cap hit, it's actually just makes it just more realistic. So once again, with those options, without this right here, we don't actually have an option to use salaries or salary cap, which I believe makes the game a little bit more interesting. And here's the contracts part of it. Without this little logo, again, we can't use contracts. So if you see, based on this, it's automated, or we can customize the contract type. I mean, it remains the same. Automated initial contract duration is 3 years. This is the number of years initially that player's contract lasts when that player is drafted. For more details, read the cap. So based on when they're drafted, just like in the NFL, actually they have 4 and 5 years if they're in the first round. But after the first 2 rounds, I believe it's 3 years only. But we could adjust that, and allows contract extensions. So we could actually check this option. If your league allows team managers to extend their players' contracts beyond their initial duration, contracts can only be extended once via the keeper administration screen, and only during their option year, which you must set below. Once the deadline to extend contracts has passed, all contracts in their option year become final, whether they're extended or not, and will expire after that indicated year. So you have a deadline when you can actually initiate an extension on their contract. And then over here, when a player is drafted, his contract remains the same. We can actually see what that is. Select how your league deals with the player's contract if he was drafted by the fantasy team. If you choose to change to and your custom contracts, you must have the page after adding contracts to make them appear in the drop down. Okay, so basically, let's go ahead and see what that option is. So when a player is drafted, his contract changes. So you can actually put whatever year you want to specify, I see. So, yeah, we'll actually figure that out as we go, but we'll just leave that, remains the same for now. Cap hit penalty. So you could actually put a percentage, like on the first year, his cap hit's going to be 50%. On his second year, it's going to be 40%. So in third year, it drops down to 30%. And on his fourth year, we'll say it's going to drop down all the way to 15%. And anything else after that will be a zero cap penalty, depending on how many years he has left in his contract. So if you read the instructions on that, for each contract, you can optionally specify a percentage of the player's salary that will remain used against a team's salary cap. A player is dropped off that team. For example, if you set a specific contract to have an 80% cap hit penalty, and a player carrying that contract with a salary of $10 is dropped, $8 would still be counted against the team's cap. So let's see, 80% is the penalty. That means they're still responsible for 80% of that salary. If a player who is dropped no longer appears in the player pool due to his real team not being in your league player pool, the cap penalty will not apply. Cap hit penalties are removed once you renew your league and must manually be applied each year. So that's something that we can change each year. So just giving you an idea on that one. So let's go ahead and put all that back. We're actually going to leave all this as a default. And the next thing I want to go over real quick is the fees. And down here you see I imposed a free agent fee of $1 and a drop player penalty or fee of 25 cents. Every team is going to be given $200 of team expenses to go ahead and make these moves, and that should cover you for quite a while. But once that disappears, or if you unwisely spend your money, there'll be an option for you to purchase more if you want to still be involved in some deals, and that money will be put into a league expense. What did I say? League expenses for future expenses, I should say, and used at the commissioner's discretion. So we may end up just adding that to a pot. We may just add that to our premium fees for the following year, the year coming up. There's a lot of different things we could use that for to reduce some of the cost for people. And the other thing I wanted to look at real quick is we have the option to possibly, with the amount of money that we're going to be putting into this, based on a $50 and 32 teams, that comes up to a $1,600 pot. We could divide that up and possibly make that to where 14, all the teams that make the playoffs actually receive a winning. It'll just be something that we have to look at and see. Multiple teams. And then what did I do after this? I looked at the playoffs. If you look at the scheduling over here, oops, go back to this. My bad. Sorry about that. If you look at the playoffs, over here, we could actually make it a use playoffs, and we'll change this to 14 teams. In order to do 14 teams, though, we're going to have to try to make our playoff period, which drops it to 4 playoff rounds, and we're only doing 13 weeks. Playoffs will start on week 14, and they'll go week 15, 16, and 17, 4 rounds, so the championship game will be on basically week 17. With that being said, these are the reasons why we have to do it. In order to have 4, hold on, it didn't keep the 14 teams. Yeah, 14 teams, and if we do it that way, then it'll be a 4 rounds of playoffs, and it should be where I do believe it'll be the same way. In order to do 4 rounds, it should have 2 teams with the bye, but I could actually do it where I manually input everything, and do the matchups myself. Well, playoffs. As you see, this is going to be something that I have to play with, so there's a lot of work that goes into all this. Playoffs will be in week 14, and then I'll have to enter them manually. And what that means is I can actually customize it to myself to make it to where all 14 teams get into the playoffs. I know this is a lot of information, but I just wanted to just throw this out there and let you guys look and see at all the different things that we are looking at doing for this particular league. This is going to be quite a fun league to be in with 32 teams. Hopefully everybody is active, and this is the other part I like, is when we look at the teams, here is the finance page. This is what I like also. It keeps track of everything, transaction fees, accrued, owing, paid, accrued. I mean, it's got we could show the winnings paid out. I mean, it's got everything up here as far as the league goes, and the best part about it is you don't pay me, you pay into this treasury, and the treasury keeps track of everything. So it takes away a lot of the financial burden of myself, and that way I can focus on the actual league. So once again, I just wanted to throw some of these things out here. If you guys would like to see something and me post a video on something like this, again, I could actually do this, but this was kind of lengthy, and maybe on the next one I'll keep it a little bit shorter. But for now, this is the commissioner for our brand new league. And by the way, Tampa Bay, thank you for all you have done in helping set this up as well. So we have 2 commissioners helping out, and if you can't get a hold of me, you can always get a hold of him, and one of us should be able to help you. So with that being said, any other questions, feel free, and I can do another video if I need to. But for now, I just wanted to let you guys get a little quick, well, not such a quick version of it, but a bird's eye view of what we're looking at for all the different options. For now, this is the commissioner signing out, and we will see you in the next video.